Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Globe at Night. This is our celebration from STEM and Space to celebrate Global Astronomy Month. As you know, we've already had a couple of sessions and webinars on different topics. And today we'll be talking on Globe at Night. Globe at Night is an international citizen science program. This means that everybody around the world can participate as citizen scientists. They don't have to be trained scientists. It could be the public, it could be students. And the reason such projects look for people to participate is so that people get a chance to be part of science. They can contribute to research, and mostly, as in this case, students get a chance to submit their data from all over the world. And that's why projects like Globe at Night can collect more and more data from people all over the world so that the number of data points increase. This project is also to raise awareness of the impact of light pollution. And what do? You observe constellations and measure the local night sky brightness through that. So let's find out more about it and see how all this happens. So what is light pollution? You all know about air pollution. You know that Delhi had and NCR had a very bad situation of air pollution last year. Uh, so we all know about it. We know about smoke pollution. We know about sound pollution. Light pollution is a topic you may not have heard about, but but it's there and it affects daily life. So let's find out a little bit about what it affects. If there are too many lights, then it could affect the energy, uh, overutilization of energy, and it can build up a lot of expenses. It could be very expensive. Look at the picture here. So much over lighting of malls and stadiums and billboards can cost a lot of money, and it will use up your energy too. Of course, it affects astronomical research. It affects the number of stars you can see in the sky. Light pollution also affects human health. Too much glare can cause headaches, eyesight problems. It can cause other problems, disturb people, and so on. It causes problems for wildlife, like in this picture here with turtles. If there is a wrong amount of lighting, then the nesting and migration patterns of wildlife have seen to be affected. A good example of that is during eclipses, you find that birds fly in the wrong direction, they get confused. So this is like that. A wrong amount of light can affect wildlife and nature behavior. So what can we do to prevent light pollution? So first, let's talk about what are the types of light pollution. I'll just mention some types that we encounter every day in our daily life. Glare. It's like if you're driving, and I know most of you don't drive, but if you're with your parents, then you might see oncoming cars coming with very strong headlights and high beams. And those lights create a glare so that you can no longer see and focus properly on what's in front of you. So that's a glare. Sky glow is anyway, we have ambient light from so many things. And when there is air pollution and dust particles, then those get spread out to look like ambient sky glow. And that's the main thing that blocks astronomers' view of the night sky. Light trespass is when you have lights in such a way that it goes into the boundary of other people's residences or other people's offices and disturbs them. Overlighting, as the name suggests, is when you have too many lights, when just a few of the lights may have done the job. And in that case, you're wasting energy, and also you're just creating a lot of glow, lot of uh, too much lighting in the ambient light. So how can we stop it? So even you as kids can do some of this. And of course, we can always bring it up to our government or to our seniors to also work with these kind of solutions. Light what you need. Don't put extra lights. Light only when you need it. So switch off the lights when you don't need it. No brighter than necessary. So there's no point in putting on lights that create a lot of glare or a lot of extra brightness, because we may be okay with dimmer lights. Now the shielding is very important too, so that the lights point downwards and the glow doesn't go all over, all around into the sky. Outdoor lights should have low glare fixtures and motion sensors, so that they don't always come on, so that they're not always on and only come on when somebody's passing by. Of course, we know that CFL and LED bulbs should be used for energy conservation. So in this project, what we are interested in is how light pollution affects how we see the stars and the sky. So here I have a picture of the sky in different locations. All these pictures look at the same part of the sky. If you go on the left, it's the inner city sky. So it's a place where there's a lot of light pollution, and you only see about a couple of stars. As you go towards the right, you go through suburban, rural, and then very dark sky where there's no light pollution or less and less light pollution as you go to the right. And you can see that you can start seeing more and more stars. So the lesser the light pollution, of course, the more the number of stars you can see. And we all know this when we go to hill stations or very dark areas. We see so many stars in the sky that none of us are used to even seeing. So we don't recognize the patterns and we get all confused because there's too many stars in the sky. So again, light pollution directly affects the number of stars you see in the sky, as you can see in this picture. So what are we going to do in this study, in this project? The students will be requested to go and look at a specific constellation and count the number of stars in that constellation. How do you count how bright a star is? What is the unit of brightness for a star? The way we measure a star's brightness is called magnitude. Now, magnitude also depends on how big the star is, how far away it is, because a star may look really bright, but that's because it's closer. So we use another term called apparent magnitude. Apparent magnitude is the brightness of a star as viewed from Earth. Now, apparent magnitude is a very interesting term. It goes in the opposite scale from most things. The lower the number is, the brighter the star appears to us. So it's an inverse scale of most things. The example I give is, if students are in a race, then the kid who comes first has the number 1, and the kid who comes third has the number 3. But the kid who has the number 1 is faster and better than the kid who has number 3. The same way, look at this cartoon showing star magnitudes. You can see the biggest circle is -2, which is the minimum number on the scale. But that's the biggest star and the brightest star. It may not be the biggest, but it is the brightest. And here they've shown it as a bigger circle. Now look at Vega. It's at magnitude 0. Spica is at magnitude 100. Magnitude 1. So all of them get dimmer and dimmer as the number increases. So 0 is much brighter than something at magnitude 2, which is Polaris, and something at magnitude 5. And the main point in this diagram is each magnitude is 2.5 times brighter than the one below it. So here, let's look at the magnitudes of some of the objects that we see in our sky. What is the brightest thing we see? The sun. Of course, we never look directly at the sun because it's too bright, and it's in the daytime sky. So the sun is at a magnitude of -27. The full moon, which we do see as the brightest object in the night sky, is at magnitude -12. So Venus, which is at about -4, is the brightest planet we see. So when you go out at the night sky, you'll see that Venus is the brightest star you see. It's not really a star, it's a planet, but it'll be the brightest object you see besides the moon. Sirius is the brightest star we see. It's at about -2. Polaris is the pole star, and that's at about 2. We see till about 6 or 7 magnitude. That's the faintest we can see. We can't see any fainter than that. And beyond that, we have to look at the sky with binoculars or telescopes to see fainter objects. And look at something interesting. Hubble Space Telescope, which has much stronger telescopes, will be seeing, can see all the way up to about 28 magnitude. Now, again, let me remind you, apparent magnitude scale works in the inverse way. So negative is very bright, and 0 is a very bright star. And as you go higher in number, they're very faint. So remember, it's an inverse scale. Now, what do you do in globe at night? How do we judge, or how do we estimate light pollution? We do that by observing a specific constellation, and around the world, everybody during globe at night, when the program runs, everybody observes the same constellation in their skies. So somebody in the US, somebody in Europe, somebody in Africa, somebody in India will all observe the same constellation. In that constellation, you see from your location, which is the faintest star you can see. And that faintest star will give you what is called the limiting magnitude. It means what is the faintest star you see will give you the magnitude, which is the magnitude of the faintest star, and that will give you the level of light pollution. So if you didn't get what I just said, it's okay. We'll talk more about this in a later slide. So globe at night, we will have 5 easy star hunting steps. Let's talk about the 5 steps. The first one is find your latitude and longitude. And why do you need that? Because this project tries to make a global map of light pollution all over the world. So we try to find out what's the light pollution in every city of India, every place in the US, and therefore we need to map it to your location, which is your latitude and longitude. It's just to find your location on Earth. It's not for the location of the object, celestial object. Step number 2, go outside at night. Whenever you're going to observe your object, give your eyes time to adjust for 10 minutes. That's called dark adaptability, so that you start seeing a lot more. Find the constellation that we're telling you to look at, and that is Orion. And for senior students, we're also suggesting Leo. So when you look at the constellation, match your observation of what you see with the magnitude charts we're giving you in your handout. And finally, report what you see. So let's talk about some of the steps. Find your latitude and longitude. There are many ways you can do this. All of our phones have GPS. You can use Google Maps on your laptop or on your phone. As you open the application, Google Maps, it will already have your current location with a blue dot. So what you have to do is click on the blue dot and it will give you more details about your location. Like here in the picture, it says Block D, Katwaria Sarai, New Delhi. So in that, below that, you see the numbers 28.54 and 77.18. That is your latitude and longitude. So that's one way. Use Google Map. You can even go to Google search and just to type in latitude, longitude of, give the location name of your colony, like latitude, longitude of Janakpuri, and you'll get an approximate number, which will look like this. Most of the numbers in Delhi NCR will be 28 point something and 77 point something. Of course, we have students here from different parts of India, and they will have different latitudes and longitudes. So once you determine that number, you just have to determine it once. You don't have to do it every night. So number 2 is find the constellation. So how do we find it? So let's talk about it. The constellations that Globe at Night recommends are Orion at the end of March and Leo in April. However, Leo is harder to find. Orion is pretty easy to spot and recognize. So for that reason, we are suggesting that all our students observe Orion first. And I'm going to have a follow-on session where my colleague is going to walk you through an software and show you how to find Orion and how to find Leo. So Orion, do go outside and try to find Orion and report that in. For kids who are beyond class 7th and above, for the last couple of days, also observe Leo and try to report that. So what do you report when you find it? You first find your constellation. Like I said, we'll do a follow-on session today where we show you how to do that. Now look at Orion. Orion is a hunter. So what are constellations? If you missed our previous session, constellations are patterns formed by a group of stars. And there are 88 such constellations. Orion, the hunter, is one of the most famous ones. It looks like a person. Orion, the hunter, looks like a person holding a sword, and he has a belt, and he's standing up. So if you look at this, there are a couple of stars called Betelgeuse, which is at magnitude 0.5. So remember, I said that 0 is about the greatest magnitude you can see for stars. So that's one of the brightest stars in the sky. It's a reddish star, and it will help you recognize Orion in the night sky. Now look all the way at the bottom, that's Rigel. Rigel is also at 0 magnitude. So these two are very bright stars. And these are even if your sky is very polluted, you usually can see both these stars. You can also see Sirius, which is the brightest star, which is very close by. So this is the important slide I want to talk to you about. It's the magnitude charts. So what do you see here? You see about 8 pictures. So let's start with the first one. It says cloudy sky. If you look up at Orion, you try to find Orion and you can't see anything really much because it's very cloudy. Then this is the chart you'll match it to and say cloudy sky. Now let's go to the next one, which says magnitude 1. Now remember, magnitudes are reverse. So magnitude 1 are the brightest stars. So in Orion, I already pointed out the star at the very top is Betelgeuse that you see here. Star on the left is Sirius, the brightest star in the night sky. It's not really part of Orion. Then you go downwards, it's Rigel, the other bright star of Orion. So in magnitude 1 chart, the light pollution is so high that you could only see these stars that are magnitude 1, the brightest stars. If you go to the next chart, which is magnitude 2, then the pollution is a little less, and you start seeing the next set of stars that are magnitude 2. Remember, magnitude 2 is a little fainter. So you're seeing a little bit fainter stars. Now, if you come to magnitude 3, the pollution is even less, light pollution is even less, and you start seeing magnitude 3 charts, 3 stars. And now you start seeing the belt of Orion, which has 3 stars in a row, and that's the very easy pattern to see in the night sky. Mostly for Delhi NCR, we do see at about magnitude 3. So we go on, and finally we come to magnitude 7. And I wish we could go to a place like that where we see so many stars. But if you did go to somewhere, some very remote area where there was very less light pollution, then you could see all the stars of Orion up to magnitude 7, which is very faint. So again, the limiting magnitude means what are the faintest stars you can see in your view of what you are seeing in Orion from your location. So if we come to magnitude 3 again, the faintest you see are magnitude 3 stars. Of course, you do see the brighter stars, which are magnitude 2 and magnitude 1. So what you have to do, if you didn't understand that much, all this, whatever I said, for younger kids, just take out this chart, make your parent or yourself shine a red light on this, go and look at what you see of Orion and try to match it to one of these patterns. The first night you may not be able to do it, just go out and look, come back and try to match it. And you can start reporting from the second day. You can give multiple reports to us, okay? So all you have to do is go out and match what you see to one of these magnitude charts. And that determines how bright your night sky is. So the faintest star you see give you the limiting magnitude. If you only see bright stars like magnitude 1 chart, then your light pollution is very high. And the light pollution gets less and less as you go across. So I talked about Orion, and the other constellation we propose that you observe is Leo, the lion. And again, my colleague will show you how to find that. And these are the magnitude charts. I'm not explaining that here, but all I want to say is that the very bright star of Leo is Regulus. So remember that when you're trying to find this constellation. This is all in the handout we are sharing with you. So again, we are sharing a handout with you. So let me just talk through that. We are in this handout. It kind of repeats most of the steps I've already told you. So you can refer to this. So these are the 5 star hunting steps. Find your latitude, longitude, find your constellation, and then match what you see in the constellation to the magnitude charts, and then report your observation. So we do have a report, or we do have a link that you can report. Okay, so we do have a page that shows what the Orion constellation looks like. And the few lines here will tell you what time Orion is visible and where you see it, which direction. So we have a page like this in your handout, which gives you the magnitude charts. You can compare what you're seeing to. You can compare what you're seeing in the sky to these magnitude charts. But don't use this sheet for reporting, because we recognize that in lockdown, not all of you have printers or scanners. So we will let you report online. Just use this as a reference. So we do have this form that will let you submit your data. So how do you submit? You click on this link. This link is in your handout. And through that, you can come to this Google form, and you have to type in your name and email address and your class, and then start filling which constellation you observed and which magnitude chart it corresponded to. So why does globe at night? collect all this data because they want to make a map like this, which builds up a light pollution uh, of every location on the globe. So that's why it's called globe at night. So you'd see on the left, there's a rectangle which says yellow is LM0 or white is LM0. Yellow is LM1. So that means LM1 means it's got the highest light pollution, and you can see only the magnitude 1. You see only the brightest possible stars. As you go down and where you have circles that are red or maroon, you see LM6 and LM7. That means those are the locations where there's very less light pollution, and you see the very faint stars, which are LM6, which are magnitude 6 or 7. So the goal of Globe at Night is to collect data from everybody around the world. So all over India, if I submit it, I'll be from South Delhi, somebody else will submit from Noida, somebody from Bangalore. So all these locations in India should start showing these circles of light pollution. So that's what they're looking for. And I've just plotted an image that has very few circles, but by now they have a lot of data from previous years. Okay, so how do we find Orion and Leo? Again, like I said, these are constellations. Constellations are patterns in the sky. Look at Orion on the left. I already told you Orion is a hunter, and you can see 3 stars on his belt. And Orion is standing up and holding a sword and a shield. And the educator Aryan is soon going to talk about how to find Orion. If you look on the right, it's Leo. Leo is the lion, and it is a zodiac constellation. You all may have heard of Leo. Leo looks like a coat hanger, or the front part of it looks like an inverted question mark, and that's the pattern you look for. So with that, I turn it over to Aryan.
So let's see the steps. First of all, I'm using the software Stellarium. Those who have attended our last webinar are aware about this software. And one interesting thing about the software is that you can go at any location and check out what's the sky there. So right now you can see I'm here on Earth in New Delhi, and this is the time. I'll show you the time more properly. Yeah, so we are in today's date, that is 15th of April. And now you can see here the red letters, those represents the direction, okay? Or if I move around, so sun you can see is about to set. So I'll increase the time and the sun will set. Yeah, so it's just set and the time is 8:16 p.m. All right, so it's all night. Now when I see the sky above, how many stars can you really see? It's like, it doesn't look like even a night sky. It actually looks like an evening sky, right? But this is the night sky, and the effect is because of the light pollution. So light pollution actually hampers the visibility of the faint stars. But what you can see is a very bright celestial bodies, like which has got less magnitude, like Venus with minus 4.6 and Sirius with minus 1.4 magnitude. All right, so I'll right now decrease the light pollution so that we all understand how this is really impacting the night sky visibility. Yeah, so I'm decreasing the light pollution, and I hope you all can already see like the number of stars increasing that you can actually see in the night sky, right? So right now, what I'm showing you is the actual beauty of the night sky. It really looks like night sky jewels, all shining bright. And this is the sky in which the ancient people actually imagined the constellation patterns, defined the mythological figures, and we got to know all about it. All right, but tonight our target is not to look for all 88 constellations. Our main target is just to understand how to find Leo and Orion. All right, so let's start with the easiest one, that is Orion. Okay, so let me just yeah, so I hope everyone can see it now. So one important thing about the constellation, everybody knows it represents the hunter in the night sky. And I'll just brief you about the stars over here so that you have an understanding. Basically, Orion's belt is the most famous thing about Orion. You see three medium brightness stars in a short range. By short range, I mean they are not far apart in the sky when you see, they are very close to each other. The name of the stars are Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintaka. Sounds like a bomb, but they are stars, okay? Now, in the above part of the belt, you will see a red dot, okay? And that's the red giant called Betelgeuse. Now, you know, stars have got an evolutionary process. They also have a life cycle. They take birth and die. So this is a red giant. Now, another star that you see which makes the shoulder of Orion is Bellatrix. Now, it's a very famous character from Harry Potter. I'm just repeating so that you remember the names. Now, the brightest star of Orion is right below the belt, that is Rigel, all right? And this star is Scythe, which makes the another leg of Orion the Hunter. So now how to spot this constellation? Basically, Orion is a winter constellation. So being a winter constellation, that means in winters, you can see it rising from the east and setting in the west. But right now, since it's summer, whenever the sun sets, you can see it right that time towards the west side. Like you can see over here, I had set the time to 8 p.m. and it is already moving towards the horizon. So you can spot it in the direction of west-southwest. All right. Now, you know the direction and when to observe it. That is right after the sunset. The best time will be 8 to 8:30 p.m. And by 10:30 p.m., the constellation will be entirely set. So please make sure you go at least around 8 because sometimes it happens that where we live, the horizon is also blocked, right? So that is a better time, I would say. Now, how to spot Orion? Everybody has understood that the three belt stars plays a very important role. So all you need to do is search for these three stars, which are very close by, and then you can start figuring out the upper body and lower body of Orion. Now, there is another problem. So of the light pollution in different areas, what I'm showing you is a dark sky. So I'll increase the light pollution right now, and let's check out how it looks, all right? So I'm increasing it to max. Just a minute. Yeah, so I've increased it to max. All right. So, and I will remove the patterns also so that you actually work like a real astronomer. Now tell me, can you spot Orion here? It's really difficult, right? So another way I would say to observe Orion will be with the use of different bright celestial bodies which are there in the night sky. And the number one very bright celestial body in the sky is Venus, the second planet in solar system right over here. It's really very bright. You can easily spot it. Okay, and you know the direction where to spot it. It's in the west direction. And the another celestial body, that is the star, the Sirius, which is the brightest star in the sky, in the night sky, and is a part of Canis Major constellation. So you try to spot out these two celestial bodies. Now you know the area. All you need to do is you have to look in between these two celestial bodies. Okay. Now, if I can see over here, I can see make out two stars. That is Alnitak and Alnilam of the belt. Mintaka is really, really very less bright because its magnitude is a little high as compared to Alnitak and Alnilam. Now, once you have spotted even two stars in the belt, you can know that this is Betelgeuse and this is Rigel. Okay, so that's another way to spot it with, you know, in case in your area there is high light pollution. All right, so I hope we are clear with Orion, the hunter. Let's move on to the king of jungle, and that's the lion. All right, the Leo constellation. So talking about the Leo constellation, it's a very special constellation, and this you can easily spot it out in summers because let me do the page down so that you all can see it. Yeah. Yeah, so this again you can observe right after the sunset. It will already be in the sky by that time. In which direction? It's in the east-southeast direction. Okay, this is the first thing about Leo. And everybody knows about its shape. It's the lion, as you can see over here. Now, how to understand the shape once you have spotted the area? So basically, Mila ma'am has already told you, but still I'll zoom in and show you once again over here. Okay, so Regulus is the brightest star of Leo constellation. So this very star of the constellation can be easily spotted. Once you have spotted Regulus, you have to find out this hook kind of structure. That is the sickle. Sickle is basically used for farming. This is a sharp blade with a handle. Okay, it's a curved blade. So once you have spotted this, you already know the face of the lion. As you know, these are stars. So we join the lines and it looks, that is how you get the stick figures, not the actual mythological figures that you imagine. So all of these are stick figures. So this is the face area. And once you have spotted the face area, the remaining stars that are visible is the body part of the lion. And again, this is another bright star from the constellation Leo, that is Denebola, which forms the tail. So you'll be able to imagine the shape after that once you have found the sickle. Okay, so now, but how to, understand in where is Leo in the eastern part of the sky? So basically to find it, two of the famous constellations nearby, that is Bootes and Virgo, which is a zodiac constellation. Even Leo is a zodiac constellation. So these two constellations can help you out. So I'm right now sharing the first way to spot Leo. Please pay attention. From the constellation Virgo, you have a very bright star called Spica right over here. And in the constellation Bootes, you have again the brightest star from the constellation, that is Arcturus. So in order to try to imagine the shapes, you will have to join the dots with imaginary lines. So think of, you have joined these two dots in the sky with imaginary line. All right. After that, you have to make a triangle just like this. Okay. So once you make the triangle, the third star that you find is Regulus. And once you have found the Regulus, you can look for Leo. Okay, so this is number one way, making of triangle using Bootes, Virgo, and Leo. Number two is about the very famous pattern that everybody knows is the Big Dipper. Okay, in the Ursa Major constellation, the seventh right over here. So this seven stars also help you spot Leo. And again, an easy pattern to spot, so everyone can try this. Once you have spotted the dipper, which looks like spoon, you have to look towards the dip part, okay, not towards the open area, towards the dip part. Right below this dip part will be the lion, okay, Leo constellation. And there's one interesting fact that people say that if the dipper is leaking, it will directly fall on the lion. Not so funny actually, but yeah, still one fact I just shared. All right, so now what are the good times to observe Leo constellation? Basically, those who have got east face balcony can easily observe it right after the sunset, but I would say 9 p.m. is a good time. As I said, it's not a very prominent constellation. So there are a combination of faint stars in the Leo constellation. So what you can do is go at 9 p.m. That would be a good time. And those who have got central open areas, they can try to spot it like from 10 to 12 midnight, because it will move across zenith by that time. And those who have got west face balconies, everyone please try to spot it after 12. Now, one thing very important that I don't know whether I mentioned about Orion or not. In case you are observing Orion, make sure you have observed it below, before 10:35, because after that time it is completely set. For Leo, it will be set by 4:20 a.m. in the morning. Okay, so make sure you are ahead of time. So for the west faced balconies, those who have that, they can go around 1 a.m. in the morning. That would be a good time to observe it. Okay, so that was all about it. I hope you have understood how to spot the constellation Leo and Orion in the night sky. Thank you very much, everyone, for hearing me out. Over to you, Mila ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Aryan. So I'm going to see some of you still had questions. So I'm just going to repeat it once. So all of you who have doubts, I hope you got the answer of how to find the constellations. It might be easy, but it may not be. So what I suggest is try it tonight. I'm going to suggest a couple of apps, try it with that. And if that doesn't work, then come back to us. We have a doubt clearing session at 12 tomorrow, where we'll only answer questions. So you can come back and tell us the problem you face so we can help you with a better app. So let me again repeat the 5 steps. Find your latitude and longitude through Google Maps or anything like that. Go outside, whatever time Aryan has suggested, go outside at least 10 minutes before, let your eyes adapt to the darkness. Step number 3, find the constellation Orion. For everybody, please do Orion for the next 2 days. And for the older kids above class 7th and including class 7th, please observe Leo also. So you can submit your observations. Step number 4 is match what you're seeing in Orion or in Leo to the magnitude charts that you have in your handout. And number 5 is report it to us. Okay, so you can do one report tomorrow, and every night you can do one report so that we exactly have what you're seeing. Okay, so Orion looks like this in magnitude chart. So again, to revise, if your light pollution is really, really bad, then magnitude 1, you'll see only magnitude 1 stars, which are the brightest. And if you're in some place like Delhi, you might see magnitude 3, where you are seeing the magnitude 3 stars, which are a little fainter, and you see the belt stars of Orion. And if you go all the way to the end where there's no light pollution, then you see all the stars up to magnitude 7. And magnitude is an inverse scale, so magnitude 7 means the faintest stars. Okay, so we've given you a handout, and not given you, we will give you at the end of this session. It will come to you by email. And again, the details are here on what time to see it and in what direction. Okay, and there's an observing sheet here, but you don't have to use it. We have given you a Google form that you can click the link and go ahead and submit your data on this Google form. So here are some software and apps to help you. Aryan demonstrated on Stellarium. Stellarium is a free software for the laptops, but not for phones. You can use Star Walk and Skyview, and those are, there are many more, but these two are free. And what you can do is set your GPS and your location on, and as you hold up your phone to the night sky, it will tell you what star and what constellation you are looking at. So if you're looking for Venus, look at some very bright object and point your phone at it, and you'll find out if it's Venus. Or you can do a search in that app and it will tell you where Venus is. So you can use these apps to help you. So now I hope most of you understood the 5 steps. Please take it as a chance to look at the night sky and try to find the constellation and report it back to us tonight. And even if you report just 1 or 2 observations in the last couple of days, that's fine. Take your time to understand the apps and how to find the night sky. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of this and go to the part you really enjoy, which is the quiz session. So those who are in a hurry, you can go ahead and leave because we have covered all the basics. Those who can stay on, do stay on for a live quiz, which my colleague Arjun will initiate now. Okay, so thank you for joining, and I will again catch on to this. Okay, let me go ahead and show you that we have an upcoming webinar, Make Your Own Pinhole Projector, on 17th April. And that's a do-it-yourself. So if you participate, you can make it with us from your homes. And otherwise, you can do IASC. We have an International Asteroid Discovery Project also coming up. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing. And Aryan, are you going to go ahead and do the quiz?
Yeah, hello. Yeah, so yeah, we can go ahead with the quiz. So, okay, so I hope everybody understood everything that ma'am has said, because here's the thing. In the quiz, the question will be asked based on the presentation only, based on what you have learned today, right? So I will, before starting the quiz, I will, since many of you have done the webinar with us previously, but some of you may be doing it for the first time. So I will first start with the steps you need to do to start the quiz. Right. So the quiz that we are going to do is on a platform known as Kahoot. So to access that platform, there are basically two ways. First one is you have to do it through a second device. On the second device, you just go to the browser and open the web address kahoot.it, kahoot.it, right? So for the others who are doing it on their system, on their laptop, on their desktop, I will be showing you a small presentation just to tell you that what all steps you need to do to start it, right? And then we are going to begin. So I will start sharing my screen for now. Here. So to start it, first thing that you need to do is you need to exit the full screen from the Zoom. So right now, most of you will be on the full screen of the Zoom. So you need to exit from the full screen. How you have to do that? On your Zoom, over here, you will be seeing this screen, right? That you are seeing my full screen. So on the side, there is an option known as view option, right? In this, the option of the exit full screen, just press this and you will be exiting from the Zoom full screen so that you can access other tabs on your screen, on your laptop also. Okay. Afterwards, what you do, you open your browser and enter the URL kahoot.it like this one, kahoot.it, right? So this is the URL you have to enter. Once you enter this URL, then the next step is you have to open your browser and your Zoom side by side. Why do you need that? So what you have to do is you have to open your Zoom. Now, since your Zoom is from the full screen, so you need to take it from here and do it till half of the screen and keep your browser in the second half. Right? So this way you have to do. Once you do that, in this, it will ask you the game pin. So right after this PPT, I'll be sharing the game pin, enter the game pin. Then it will ask you for your nickname, enter your nickname once, and then press go. Once you press go, you should be able to see your name on your Zoom screen, right? So I'll be moving the screen. You can see your Zoom, your name, right? So that those are the steps, and after that you can start playing. When you start playing, so there are, why do you need these two screens? The reason is that the question and the options you will be seeing on the Zoom only, but to press your option, to give your response, you will need your browser. So even though you can see the question and option over here, how do you have to press your option answer? Let's say if the answer to this question is sun. So it is like, it is the blue rhombus. So on your browser, you have to press the blue rhombus and your answer will be recorded. So this is how you have to play. Right? So I hope everybody understood the steps. So right now I'm just gonna go ahead and
I'm just gonna repeat that. If you can also open the second thing on your phone browser if you want an easy way out.
So yeah, so like I said, the first thing, you can do it on your second device. If you don't want to go through all that, you can start with your second device, right? And in your second device, you just have to open the browser, enter it kahoot.it, and then you are good to go. So right now I'll be sharing the game pin. So everybody, this is the game pin 9369335. Everyone.
Yeah, that's clear.
Enter this game pin 9369335. Yes, so right now, see, Anmay have joined. So what I'll do, all those who have joined, the name will be visible over here. So once you have joined, you should look over here to see your name. And once your name are here, you're good to go. So, right. So yes, very nice. 30 people have joined, 31, 36, 37. Very nice. So once everybody is here, we are begin. So some of you might be asking, sir, what to do next? After you are in this step, what you have to do next is wait for now, right? When everybody is in, we will start a quiz. So if anyone has any problem regarding anything,
Arjun, just scroll it down so everybody can see.
Ask it in the chat. Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna scroll it down.
So we have about 60. Yeah.
So everybody, I'm just scrolling it down so you can start seeing your name. Right. So we have 50 people over here. All right. So let's see who all is there. Yes, 50 are here. So I'll be waiting for 2 more minutes. If anyone is experiencing any problem, just tell me right away. Tell me right now so that we can begin.
Arjun, go ahead and start because nobody's saying that they have a problem. Yes, please go ahead. Arjun, go ahead and start. Most of them are in. Subhashini, you're saying you can't do it side by side. See if you can open it on your phone browser or iPad browser or something, because it's going to be hard to show you how to do that. So just do kahoot.it. He has it there, www.kahoot.it. So just get it done. So go ahead and start because most people are in.
Yeah, so 54, 53. So I believe some of you are even going out, right? So if you have logged in, if you are till this stage, I will ask you to just be patient, stay there. We are waiting for the others to join and then we will begin. Let's see if anyone is having any problem. All right, so right now, so I'm 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to begin.
You see Kenisha's name? So, she was asking. Can you scroll down and see if you can see Kenisha's name?
Yeah, sure. So Kenisha is, I believe Kenisha is here.
Okay, go ahead and start, Arjun.
So I'm gonna go ahead and start. I don't think Kenisha is here. Right. So yeah. So let's begin. All right. So first question is the demo question. So just to get you up to speed, first question is the demo question. It does not have any marks. So tell me, what is the full form of GAM? We all are celebrating GAM over here, right? So what is the full form of GAM? Very nice. Okay, so only 45 of you were able to answer. So the correct answer is Global Astronomy Month. So we all are celebrating GAM over here. That is Global Astronomy Month. So yeah, so that is option number C. So here you should look for two things. First of all, it is a time base, right? So you should answer within that time. Now, second thing is there is no negative marking. So don't refrain yourself from answering, just answer, right? Now, here is one more thing with it. Once you answer, you are going to have the streaks of answer. The longer your streaks, the more points you will score. So right now, since it has 0 points, everybody's on 0 points. So from this question onwards, every question is going to have points. So let me start the question. The question is this: which is the brightest star of the constellation Orion? Mila ma'am already told you. Brightest star of constellation Orion is. Orion is Rigel. Second brightest is Betelgeuse. Yes, so some of you are confused between Rigel and Betelgeuse. So the correct answer is Rigel. So kudos to the ones who have given the correct answer. So let's see who is there on top. So Dhanad is the highest climber with up to 44 places. So the topper is Arnav, followed by AP, Tia, Advay, and Meghna. So well done, guys. So here's the thing: the faster you answer, the more you score. So try to answer as fast as possible. So here goes to the next question, which is the brightest star in the constellation Leo. These questions have been answered. Let's see who can answer this. answer is Regulus. Now Sirius is not even the part of Leo, it is the part of Orion. So yeah. So let's see who is the topper now. So yes, Arnav is on the first position, followed by Advay, AP, Ananya, and Dhanad. Right? So we have a new entrant in Dhanad. So get ready for the next question. The really dark area could see a limited magnitude stars of answer. The correct answer is 6, right? So here's the thing, guys. So all of you have answered wrongly. I believe you're not yet familiar with the concept of magnitude. Magnitude is basically how bright the star is. Like the brightest objects have the minimum magnitude. Like sun, the brightest object in the sky have a magnitude of -27. The faintest have +6. So that was the correct answer right over here. Right. So as we increase in magnitude, the brightness keeps on decreasing. Right. So here, let's see who is there on the top. So the topper is Arnav, AP, followed by Dhanad, Riyan, and Meghna. Meghna being the new entrant. So, and he has the highest answer streak of 4. Way to go, Meghna. We keep it up. Let's go for the next question. Next question is this: which of the following is not a recommended way to improve light pollution? Given the correct answer, that is the colored bulb. Yes. So let's see who is on the top now. So now the top 5 have completely changed. Now the topper is AP, followed by Meghna, Pragya, Riyan, and Arnav. And up to 17 places, Sovi is the highest climber. Very nice, Sovi. Let's go to the next question. The twin brothers in the night sky represented by which constellation? Come on. The constellation is shown here only. Tell me which one is this. The picture, the answer is shown. Yes, it is Gemini. Gemini, it is one of the zodiac constellations also. So you must have known about this. So let's see who is on the top 5 now. Top 5, okay, so the top position has been secured by Meghna, followed by Riyan, Pragya, AP, and Dhanad. Great, so very nice, guys. So let's go to the next question. Next question is of the double points. Which among the following could be used to find Leo? Let's see who can answer that. To find Leo, like Aryan have already told you. So yeah, so let's see who are on the top 5 now. Okay, so then now Pragya is on top, followed by Meghna, Riyan, Dhanad, and Advay. While the Meghna have the streak of 7 correct answers in a row. Right, so guys, everybody try to maintain your streak. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Star's magnitude is the measurements of its dash. Size, brightness, distance, or age. Come on. Very good. Let's go. It is the brightness. We have many times. It is the brightness. Yes. So the top 5 is more or less the same, with the entry of Arnav, Vash, and 6 players have hit answer streak 4. So get ready for the next question. Next question is this: Globe at Night is a project that studies dash. The light, the earth, the season, or the light pollution. let's see what effect it has on our top five. Now the top five has a slight change with Arnav Vash overtaking Rayan. Otherwise, the top five are same. And Pratyush is back with the answer streak of 3. Way to go, Pratyush. Let's go to the second last question. Which of these has apparent magnitude of about minus 12? Let's see who can answer this. Apparent magnitude of minus 12. Hear this many times. Right? I have even answered this in one of the questions also. It is the full moon. No, sun is not the correct answer. Sun have a magnitude of minus 27, while moon have of minus 12. Venus is of minus 3 and the Sirius is of minus 1. So yeah, so let's see who all got it correct and what effect it has on the top 5. Now top 5 has one new entrant in Neep Grover with Dhanat overtaking Rayan and Pragya and Meghna on the top. Meghna has the highest streak of 10. Way to go, Meghna. Very nicely done. The last question, everybody, this is the last question. Which of this is not a form of light pollution? Let's see who can answer this. Is it glare, sky glow, overlightning, or illumination?
Hello, everyone. I don't know if he dropped. I don't know if Arjun got dropped just last minute or not. So I hope you can all hear me. And I guess we have to be, I think his net went. So I guess we'll be happy with uh, whoever we saw at the end. And anybody remember what was the name of the topper? Arjun? Can you just remind me, or Aryan?
I just remember the second was Meghna, and
first was it Pratyush?
Pragya is written in the chat.
Yeah, Pragya. So Pragya was the topper, and then Meghna. And Aditi, do you remember who was third? I know Dhanad was there, Rian. So all of you who were in the top 5, congratulations. And sorry that Arjun's net fell, disconnected at the critical moment when just we were going to see the climax. So I do have a screenshot of the winners. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get it on my laptop right now. So, but let me announce. So all of you, Pragya was the winner. And congratulations, Pragya. And next is Meghna. Then is Dhanad. Number 4 is Rian. And number 5 is Reeve Grover. So congratulations, all 5 of you. And great. Thanks for participating, everyone. It was a very exciting game. And yeah, Dr. Komalpreet and all of you who missed the game or who had internet issues, every webinar that we are holding, and we do have 3 more left, one day after tomorrow on 17th. So at the end of it, we are doing a Kahoot session every webinar. So please do join us. And today we are doing Globe at Night, which is a whole project, but every other day we have a webinar that's just a simple activity or one topic. So all of you are welcome to join. And let me just again share my screen so I can just end it with what's coming up for all of you who missed it. So again, some of you had problems with 12 o'clock tomorrow at noon for our doubt clearing session. So I have changed it now to 4:30, the same time as today, because some of you have an online school in the morning. So please send any questions to help@STEM&Space.com. and join us for another doubt clearing webinar. We won't teach you anything. We'll just take your questions, because tonight some of you will go and try to see this. You just join us back and tell us what you could see or what problems you had. These are the software and apps I suggested. Stellarium is on the laptop. That's more complicated. On your mobile, you can do Star Walk, Sky View, and these are very easy. It's very fun. You can just hold it up, keep your GPS on, and just go and look at the night sky. Just do that tonight. Just look at the night sky, and you'll be able to see what's in the night sky.
Mila ma'am, just one thing. I hope you can hear me. Here,
yeah,
it's written help. Can you go back to the ID that you are showing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so here it's help@STEM&Space.com. Actually, it's just a little...
Hello, sorry. It's not help@STEM&Space.com. It's hello@STEM&Space.com, HELLO. And again, doubt clearing webinar at noon tomorrow. And now that you've gone through it, again, some of you had a problem with the magnitude. So I'll just show you once that magnitude is inverse. So the faintest objects, okay, so through this, I'll show you. The brightest objects have the lowest magnitude. So sun is the brightest thing, and it's got like -27. And full moon is -12. Venus is -3. Polaris is at 3. And our naked eye limit is the faintest stars we can see is at 6. So remember, it's a reverse scale, it's an inverse scale. The higher numbers are really the faintest stars, and the lowest numbers in 0 and negative are the brightest objects. So just to revise this, and so what do you do tonight? Try to find the constellation Orion tonight. And for older students, try to find Leo in the next few days. Okay, so find your latitude, longitude, and find the constellation and match it to the magnitude charts and report it to us. So I think that's it. We've revised, we are done for today. And we'll do the doubt clearing session tomorrow, so you can bring your questions back. And on 17th April, we do have another webinar, make your own pinhole projector. And our educator is actually going to walk you through this. So anybody who registers, we will give you a material list of simple things you can use from your own house. And we have a very exciting international project coming up, Asteroid Discovery Project. It's the first time we're giving students a chance to do it. So you'll get further information about this project too. So with that, thank you everyone for joining, and we'll see you tomorrow. And I hope you have a great time enjoying the dark night sky while we are all under lockdown. It's one way to enjoy quiet time. And please don't take any risks. Don't travel out further than you should, and stay with a parent. Just stay near the house or to your terrace or courtyard or balcony. If you cannot see it because you don't have the view, then please let us know. Don't take any chances. So with that, thank you, and we will see you tomorrow for the doubt clearing session. If you can't join, that's fine. You can just send your question to hello@STEM&Space.com. So again, thank you everyone. And I look forward to seeing you again next time. And good luck with Globe at Night. Thank you. So I'm going to end this session now. Thank you.